Alright, today's video is going to be on the first fix electrics in the house. So I mentioned in the first video, I think it was the first video, that the whole house needs rewiring, and we're getting this for free pretty much because my dad's an electrician. Yeah, we're pretty much getting a full rewire for nothing, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying that, you know, that could have been a make or break for buying this house if my dad wasn't an electrician, is that this place needed a full rewire. Rewires aren't cheap. I asked him the other day and he said that sort of rewire on this scale, you're looking at maybe 6, 7, maybe even 8 grand for what we're having done, which we don't have that sort of money just laying about to spend just on a rewire. So it really was a big factor in us getting this property, the fact that my dad could do the rewire for next to nothing. Now, all the labour's obviously free. I'm doing him a favour by doing some things. Most of the materials he's donated. It's only things that he hasn't got that we need to buy, and second fix fixtures, so lights, sockets, switches, things like that. But I'm going to just go and show you around what he's done so far. The first fixing is pretty much done. There's a few other bits that need doing. I'm going to show you some bits that I've been doing. Obviously I'm not doing none of the wiring because I'm not qualified, but let's say the grunt work, the mucky work, the chopping out, you can see sort of behind me here, you know, I've been chopping out, and the messy work I've been doing, because you need to know what you're doing, but it's not, you don't need to be qualified to do it, let's say. So we'll start in the living room. So as you can see, I've been chopping out for sockets. We're having downlights in every room. There's 12 going in here. We're gonna have them on basically so half on, half off, so on dimmers as well, so we can sort of like set the mood, for example, in the room. So, but he's also split it, so these two will come on, those two will stay off, these two will come on, and so on. So if we only want half the amount of lights on an evening, then we can do. Say if we've got people over, or you know, whatever, we can light up the whole room. We're having special lighting in the fireplace. That'll look good when it's done. TV's going down here, so that is where a lot of wire. I think he's not actually put the wires in for that just yet, because everything's going back to the garage. Now, the reason nothing's chopped in here is because I've got to build a false wall, primarily to hide these pipes. There's nothing we can do. These pipes are kind of stuck where they are. There's no really way of moving them. And the reason they do that, they come down from the first floor into the room and then out, is because of the garage is on a different level. That like comes out in the garage ceiling, and that's why that is like that. But there's nothing we can do. So to get around it, because I hate little bits of boxing in like this, it just, like my fireplace is gonna be here, and then it's gonna come in and then up. So you're just gonna have like a wooden box there, and it'll just look horrible. So to get over that, we're gonna lose like 2 inch on the room. We're just gonna build a false wall all the way down, and doing that also lets us hide all these cables without having to chop them in, because that would be quite a wide chase to hide all of those. But I'll go through them, sort of what I do know. I mean, he's labelled some up. What's that? Smoke alarm. Kit ring, I'm not sure what that means. Kit ring again, I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, that's, I know they're for ring mains, so I think they're like sockets and lights. These are Cat 5s, which are for the internet, and I think that's it. I think that's all internet. That's TV. That's another TV. That's for downstairs TV. They'll go up to the aerial on the roof. Everything else is sockets. Like I said, down lights. Here we've got sockets and yeah, just sockets, I think. And then we've got wires going through here to this socket, which will control the landing and whatever. We've got alarms. This is where so we're going to have a dimmer switch here, which will control the lights in the lounge, and also a switch to control the fireplace light. We've got a switch down there to also control these lights, so it's on a two-way. That's pretty much the living room. In here, we're going to have 2 spotlights, smoke alarm, thermostats going on there. In here, now I haven't chopped this out, I've left this room to video. Light switch, sockets, it's a bit self-explanatory. Again, spotlights. In the kitchen, again, spotlights. So we've got quite bright in here. We've got, how many we've got 8 in here, which is not a big room, but I think for a kitchen, you want it quite bright. It's the room you spend quite a bit of time in, you know, cooking and whatever. You want to see what you're doing, so we opted for 8 spotlights. That's heat detector. Here we've got alarm, so if we ever come through the back door, which probably won't be often, sensor for the alarm. This is all switches for kitchen lights and outside lights, which I will show you later on. The wiring here we've tried to keep a bit as simple as possible, just because future we're going to extend out, so this is all going to get changed. But the main thing is we need sockets for the oven. Now it's only got, well, it's got 2 sockets in this drawer, which is stupid because the microwave meant to go there, but the wire doesn't fit. It doesn't reach to the socket, so we're gonna have one put right there. Sockets for washing machine, dryer, an extra socket just because they're handy. We've kind of gone a bit probably overboard on sockets. You'll probably think, why have you got that many? But we're sort of like future proofing. In here, again, I think we've got 2 sockets in here. Heating control, light. I'll show you upstairs. Now all of the upstairs is actually done by the lights. All the boxes are in. Everything's chopped in. So here we are upstairs. We're going to be having, I think, 2 spotlights, possibly 3 on here. I can't remember. So you see here he's put the boxes in and capped up. So I've done all the chopping out up here. Bedroom, I think I've spoke about this before, so bed there, 2 side tables, so we want a socket for each side table. 2 doubles and internet and TV for the television stand. Just a double there for whatever's needed. Again, another double there. Like I said, probably a bit overboard. Double there. In here, this is the dressing room. So we've got 4 doubles in here. Quite a lot for a small room, but Ollie's done a lot of the planning for this, and I just basically said to her, I says, look, we can have as many as we want. Just put in what you want. It's our first home. It's our dream home. So we want to sort of do it right. I shook this. So my dad started. He's been at this a week. He's only been doing weekends. So he's doing it in his spare time. I don't blame him. But within half an hour, he'd gone through one of the heating pipes. It's not his fault. I mean, he's been doing it since he's left school. So he's more than experienced. But this pipe was tight up to the underside of the floorboards. I mean, he's only nicked it, but yeah, that was fun. Getting that turned off. So over into what's going to be my office. So we've got 3 doubles. All this here is, so this is internet, and this is for CCTV. I have quite a few cameras up. Again, a double down there just for whatever's needed. Now, you might have seen the video where we took the bathroom wall out. We haven't actually done anything wiring terms for the bathroom because we're not sure how it's gonna be laid out and everything. So this is the only room upstairs that hasn't been touched. I think he's put the cables in provisionally, but I mean, it's only lights really that need to go in, but nothing's been drilled out or anything because we just don't know yet where stuff's going. I'll do a video once the second fix is done. There's our boxes of spotlights. There's 55 in total, which isn't cheap. That's how many lights we've got. This is the second bedroom, so this room's going to be pretty redundant for now. Not a lot's going to be going off. We're just sort of future-proofing this room for when, you know, guests or children. You know, we're better off doing the work now, and instead of then having to make a mess in the future. So, however this room will be laid out, whether there's a bed goes there, there'll be sockets either side. Whether a bed goes that way, there'll be a socket there. TV cabinet would probably go there. Cupboard, which I've got another video on doing this. There's going to be a light in there on a sensor, so as soon as you open the door, light will come on, which I think will be pretty cool. He's not done the spotlights upstairs yet, drilled out for them. He's not actually wired it yet, but this ceiling is Artex, and Artex contains asbestos sometimes, so this ceiling needs overboarding and skimming. So yeah, that's why that hasn't been touched. But that's pretty much upstairs done in terms of wiring. I say all the boxes are in, it's all capped up. I mean, this, to be honest, can all be plastered back in. Yeah, all can be plastered in. I mean, these are the switches. They've still got to be sorted out, and the old sockets, they need to come out. So I'll probably wait to plaster it in until they've been took out, and then I'm not going into the room twice plastering. And yeah, so I'll quickly show you outside. All there is wires. I say it's first fix, so right. So we've got outside lights either side of the door, cameras, camera, outside lights, I believe. Camera, outside light, outside light. And that's that for the outside. I think he's going to put me a socket on the garage, back of the garage as well, an outside socket. But nothing's happened in the garage, so I'm not gonna. There's no point opening it up. Oh, we're also having a camera up top there just to cover the driveway. So we've got a camera covering the garden, a camera covering the side, and a camera covering the back. I'm quite security conscious. You know, I feel like if we're spending all this money on this house and it being our home, I want it to be protected and looked over. Especially with my van. Like, my van is so prone to getting stolen. It's just, it's not something that'd stop them, but it's a deterrent, and anything that'll either slow people down or stop them, or not necessarily stop them, but slow them down, you know, I'll pay the money to do it, because that van is my livelihood. If I don't have that, I don't work. If I don't work, I can't pay for this place. So yeah, I'm going to get cracked on in here, and I'll just show you basically what I've been doing. We bought a wall chaser from Screwfix, about 100 quid, but it just saves so much time and effort. It gives you a nice clean cut. I'll show you in here. So this was done with the chaser. Now I don't think I've been doing it wide enough. He did pull me on that. I have to do like 2 passes because the blades aren't wide enough apart, but it just gives a nice clean cut, and it probably makes it better when you come back to patching it in. Yeah, you'll see anyway when I do it. It just it makes life a lot easier. So I'll show you me marking them up and chasing them out. Like I say, it's not the skillful job, but it's a job that needs doing. And if I can do anything to help out and speed the process up, then I'm all for it. I will turn my hand to anything if it means getting the job done. Right, hopefully the light's not flickering too bad. It's the only problem with doing renovations in autumn/winter, it gets dark early, so there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, I've gone round, I've marked all my boxes in here, so as you can see, X marks the spot, plumb line, that's for when I do the chasing, and you can see here with the laser. So bottom of box is 450 from floor, box. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sockets in here. There's one to do in there, but I'll do that later. That's not part of this room. So yeah, I've marked them up. I'll now show you how I chase them out. I'm all set up, so I've got the chaser hooked up to the hoover. This is a must. Without the hoover, now it still does get dusty. I mean, I've got my dust mask on ready. Without that, it just fill the room with black dust. It'd be really thick. You just won't be able to see, because these blocks are quite soft. And you might even see when I do it, it does sometimes get blocked, and the hoover gets blocked. So I've just got to be careful of that. But it really does help keep the dust down. It doesn't stop it, but it minimises it. So I'll go around, I'll chase them all out, and then I'll show you how I chop them out with the drill. So if I set you guys up somewhere there. So it does get loud.
so it's probably a bad one to show you actually, because I can't get the hoover in, so I'm actually going to have to do that one without the hoover on, because I can't, the pipe obviously tight, I can't get down the other way, so I'll do that one last, because that's going to be the really dusty one. I'll show you this one. This one's probably. See how blocked it gets, and it does really keep the dust down. Right. There we go. So that's basically the process of chasing out. So I do the box first, just breaks it into sections, it just comes out really easily. And then I just do 2 passes, and that is then wide enough to get the capping in. So I'm going to go around now, do all the rest, you don't need to see me do it all. And I'll put the camera back on when it comes to actually chopping out.
Right, so the hoover's overheated, which it's done that quite a few times. It can't handle the dust. It's so like thick and well, there's just a lot of it, and it just can't handle it, so it overheats. So what I have to do is I just leave it outside for like half an hour and let it cool down, and then it'll be alright to go again for a bit. But while I'm waiting, I might as well start chopping out some of the chases that I've done. I mean, I just remembered there's a switch actually needs to go here. He's not wired it, my dad, but there is a switch. We did mark it, he's just forgot to put the wire in. So that's going to go there, so I need to actually run another chase there. But I can chop that out, I can chop that one out, and this one. So I'll just show you how that's done. If I put the camera Go somewhere there. Earmuffs on because this one's loud. Alright, and what we do is get our box that we marked up with and we just put it in. We make sure that it sits in there nice. Once we've got our marks, we know where it's got to sit to. Sit it in and just make sure that it's sat. There isn't really a set amount, but just make sure it's sat past the surface of the plaster. You don't want it sticking out like that because you'll just not get your plate, your socket plate on. So that is, to be honest, usually I have to take a bit more out, but that's pretty good. I mean, if I'm being critical, it's wobbly slightly, but my dad be happy with that. The ones I did upstairs, he was happy with those. So that's done. Now all we do is we just follow that chase right up to the ceiling. And just make sure it's wide enough, which hopefully it is, and deep enough, but you don't want to go too deep. Now, he did say some of them upstairs were too deep. That's just because you can't get into nail capping up. It's not detrimental to the structure of the house or whatever. But yeah, and if you go too deep, it just means more plastering. Alright, panic over. But we carry on. And there we go. That is pretty much what I've done out throughout the whole house. So chop the box out, make sure it fits. That is pretty perfect. And then chop the chase out now. Like I said, it is probably a bit too deep, but I just have the chaser set to a certain depth and it's deep enough for the box. I do have to go a little bit further. But I've sort of got it in between so it's not too deep for the chase, but also not too shallow for the box. And there we go. And obviously a drill with a chisel bit makes it 10 times easier. I did start with the hammer and chisel, but I just got tired after a while. When you've got, I think we've got 40 double sockets in the house. So when you've got 40 to do, or near enough 40, and that's not including switches. Yeah, makes it easier when you've got a drill. Right, I'm gonna do the others now, sticking on time lapse. And there we go. That is part of the first fixing done. I think that's most, if not all, of the chopping out done down. In fact, it'd be the whole house. There'd be the odd bit to do upstairs, switches, but all the sockets are done that need doing. Bar the kitchen, I just remembered the kitchen, that still needs doing, but I've got to take all that panelling off, and that's quite a delicate room, that, because we're trying to keep that the best we can. That's not going to change. But as for everything else, yeah, and that's how it's done. Well, my take on it anyway. So I'm not an electrician. I'm not an electrician's apprentice. I'm the son of an electrician. So bricklaying is definitely my forte, but chopping out, it's not that easy. It's not that hard, is it? Now I'm just going to tidy up and get home and have a quick shower. I'm filthy. That's one of the things with rewires. I remember when I was younger, my dad come home when he used to do rewires all the time, and it'd be black from chopping out, from it being in lofts with like soot and everything. These blocks get you filthy, but it's a needed thing. It needs to be done. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that one. And I'll see you in the next video. Next video on the electrics should be the second fixing.